Hello, so now I'll be presenting my presentation about the state of Manna, and let's get started. So the Manna state was first formed around Urmia Lake, and it was established in 9th century BC. But we can say that it was first mentioned in 843 BC in Assyrian cuneiform and manuscripts. And its first ruler was Udaki, but we can say that he was not the official one. That's why in many sources, he's not considered the first ruler, but Iranzu is considered. So the capital of the state was Izirtu, which is nowadays known as Ziveria, Iran. And some other cities were Zamua, Alate, Gazabunda, Ushtish, and Zikertu. And here is the chronological order of the rulers of Manna. So Iranzu with the first, and then comes Aza, Ulusunu, Asheri, and then Uali. And Manna between Urartu and Assyria. So Iranzu, which was the first ruler of Manna, he took an opportunity of the successful war of Assyria against Urartu and pursued a policy of centralization. So he turned back the lands of Manna occupied by Urartu, made provinces of Manna obey the central authority, and created the system of successorship in the country. And the successors were dependent on the central authority. And during the reign of Iranzu, Manna became a powerful state around the basin of Lake Urmia, and Izirtu became the capital of Manna. And however, some rulers and successors, they weren't convinced or they didn't like Iranzu's policy of centralization. And Rusa I established relations with Assyria to go against Urartu. And that's why a rebellion broke out in 719 BC in Manna. But the rebellion was suppressed and defeated by Sargon II, the Assyrian ruler who remained faithful to his alliance with Manna and brought troops on the rebels. And after the death of Iranzu, his son Asa came to power. He ruled for 2 years, but later he was killed by pro-Urartian rulers. And after the death of Asa, his brother Ulusunu became the ruler of Manna. And according to the cuneiform information, Rusa I, Urartu ruler, had helped him to come to power in return of getting 22 fortresses of Manna. And then Sargon II helped Manna and liberated its lands, and he was able to defeat Rusa I. And after defeating Rusa I, Sargon's expansion to Manna, Media, and Urartu had started in 714 BC. And his goals were to liberate Manna from Urartu's expansion, to strengthen Assyria's position in Manna, and to assure timely tax payment by Manna. And we can also say that Ulusunu supported the Assyrian army and the Sargon. So and that's why Urartu was defeated, weakened, and he could not interfere in the internal issues of Manna anymore. And later on, Asheri attacked Assyria, but he was killed. And Uali established close relations with Assyria, but it was actually too late for that because Assyria was already weak and it had collapsed in 605 BC. And after that, Media occupied Manna in 590 BC. And after Asheri's death, Manna was included into the state of Media and was under control of Scythians. Thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you for your attention.